Okay. Okay, we're live. Welcome everybody to the Azure and AI Show. With me today is Amy Diamond, MVP, for SharePoint, and myself, Frank Falvey, MVP for M365 Copilot. And we're going to do some stuff around Copilot Studio. Is you got a few updates for us, Amy? I think on some new stuff, and
Yep, yep.
I'm going to go through the new website that Microsoft has up for Copilot Studio. Some great stuff inside there, and it's all free. There's loads of downloads, PowerPoint presentations, scenarios, everything like that. So, Amy, if you want to share your screen, and if anybody wants to, how are we doing, Malik?
To ask questions or
Welcome.
something.
If you have anything for us today, anything to share?
Um,
How are you doing?
that's good. Good, good,
Anything,
good.
anything to share with us today, or are you just joining as a spectator?
Joining the spectator right now, but if I have any
Okay,
questions, I'll be sure to ask them.
sure. That'd be great. Great to have you on. This is your first time on with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Where are you
Okay.
located?
I'm located in North Carolina.
Okay. So
Okay.
United States.
Cool.
Yes.
Dan Ray introduced you to us. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, Dan. I'm not sure if he's going to join us or not, but Amy, do you want to share your screen with us there? So
Yeah, sure. Yeah. This
good.
time I'll share the screen and not
Right.
forget. Do you see my screen now?
I've got your screen there now. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, first thing I want to show you is I'll go into the Copilot chat and I found out a new feature which I would like to share with you. So if I go to the three dots on top on the right and go to settings, now under personalization, we have two functionalities. So first of all, you can custom your instructions. So in this case, I just told him start every answer with the word good day, and I asked him to give the current time. So this is an example of from one side, I'm telling something static that uh, good day will be all the time. On the other hand, the time it's dynamic because each time it should give me the dynamic type. So this is just an example. Now the second thing is also new. It's the possibility um, to tell the co-pilot actually to remember things. So here you see that I told him what I like for lunch, um, uh, to use politely, and also my job title. Now, in order to demonstrate how I cannot add it just typing. Just notice that there's a work profile and there's a Copilot memory. The work profiles, it says that you need to go to your profile. I haven't understood yet how to work it. But what I want to show you is, for instance, if I ask him something, um, I can instruct the Copilot to do some things. Okay. So what I can say, please add to your memory to use yeah yeah to prefer response. Now what you will see here is that it will acknowledge. You see this memory update. So once I instruct him something and I want him to remember, he will update this memory and then I could go here directly to the where I managed it. But notice also the instructions I also gave before. It says good day, and it gives me the current time and even the location where I am here. Now, just take it as an idea. I could say, give me a quote of today, or give me something. It can be anything. And I found out sometimes it doesn't write my name correctly, or if I want it to remember something. Once I tell him to, by the way, I even wrote a typo, but it doesn't care. So if I want to see what happened in the background, I can see that it added this instruction, and next time I will not need to do that because it will remember that. Um, and in the same way, I could also change the custom instructions. So so on one hand, we can control what we want him to remember, and on the other hand, maybe things we don't want it to remember. But the way is, as you see, there's here the memory update, and then it can remember some things. Um, do we have any questions about this topic? Okay.
No,
Okay. So I don't know. It might not appear for everyone yet because I have a early release. But the way to get there is through the three dots and then settings, and then you could test it and see what's your preference. Second thing I would like to show is if I go to OneDrive, let's choose OneDrive. Um, okay, I'll go to images. Okay, so here are images. It's under media, but I could search, just look here by the type and find something which is an image. Okay, you see a screenshot. Now, let's take something different because it's less. So I'll go back to here and I will look for, let's say, this screenshot. So this is actually, it was a presentation, but I saved it as a picture. But now I have an icon open in Copilot. And what it lets me do is it gives me by default three things I can ask, but as we know, this can be a discussion and a conversation that I can do with Copilot and ask it anything. So let's try to explain the image. So I chose this button. Yeah, I think Microsoft is moving from just typing, but for ready-made buttons, just like you have summarize or something, that it gives you a default. So what I'm expecting is, so look, it's using AI and it's saying the name of the file is slide 43, which doesn't mean much, but it gives the key elements of the slide. So it says the key elements. The Microsoft Copilot logo is displayed on the left. The main title is Microsoft Copilot Release Note, as we can see here. So it's really breaking down all what it sees here, and this is a picture. It's not OCR. It's not PDF. So it's amazing how much information it's bringing. Okay, so first of all, we can see that it's gathering and or summarizing the data, and it offers additional possibilities for me to ask. But let's go back and say let's extract the data because maybe I want to take the data and to use it maybe somewhere else or to paste it in a Word document. So here I actually getting the detailed text that is here. As you can see, the title, this is this area, and even I see as of 5th of June. Let me move this release note. So this is really cool. Now the last one, actually, I'm not sure how to use it because it says analyze image using a file. So I wouldn't know which file to reference. So I will skip this, but here I can continue the conversation. I can ask, um, oops, could say, yeah, tell me what colors are in the image. So it should give me a description of what each color does and how it's working. So as you can see, there's a dark gray Microsoft logo, including a blue, purple, and yellow thing. Let's maybe choose something which is a bit more detailed. Okay, so you see here is an image with lots of text. Let's test it. Yeah, explain the image. So it's going and it should pick up all of the information here. And just imagine if you needed to type this all at once. By the way, I know that, so you see here, this is the launched on the left, and we will probably have the rolling out also. And as I know, or I heard, it will be possible with Copilot in Teams if somebody shared an image that in AI summary, it will also include the text that was presented in images that were during the meeting. So part of the AI summary will also include these things. Yep. So we see here it did what we wanted, and this is quite cool. And last thing, I'll probably will take 2 minutes. What I noticed is actually in. Do you have any questions about this or any comments?
Just on that thing there you were saying about the file analyzing, what type of, analyze with a file. Could you just ask Copilot what type of file can I use to analyze this image?
Yes, of course. Let's go back. Yeah,
One,
OneDrive. I mean, I could just reference maybe. Yeah, let's take maybe this presentation and analyze image using file. So
yeah,
this is the prompt, and now it's asking me. You see, it's showing I could choose
okay.
a PowerPoint, an Excel. It gives me a people, gives me all of the possibilities. I just need to understand what what file is relevant for this
What if
slide.
you, because there's pictures and there's text in there, what if you just go with PowerPoint? See, will it make a PowerPoint
Okay,
for you?
but it needs to be well. Maybe I need the I just chose a slideshow which has nothing to do with the image, but let's see what it does.
Yeah, I think the
Uh,
best, well, one of the things is just kind of do an example and see what it comes out with,
yeah.
Try and break it before you
You,
fix it.
you see here, there's actually more information here that was shown than what was in this, because this presentation has maybe one paragraph, and yet it brought here much more. So So it's something that I need to, maybe if it doesn't know, it just goes to the internet and brings the information. Description, status, okay, visual. On the right, there's a screen of the Copilot interface, call for action, loan, detailed summary. But maybe I'll take it. I'll check it.
Yeah,
Next time I'll try to find what is the use case. But it's good. We each time we get more features, and then we can yeah. But definitely it makes the life easier. Um,
definitely. Yeah, yeah. Some new stuff
um,
coming all the time is very good.
Yeah, and last thing I want to show you, which I noticed, it's regarding, it has nothing to do with Copilot, but it's in Outlook. So I'm now in Outlook on the web, but it can be also Outlook new in the desktop. And when I create a new mail, Um, do you know the situation where sometimes you send a mail, it's sent to the all of the employees, and then one smart guy just wants to reply, and he does reply all, and everyone gets the mail. So
Yeah,
the way to avoid that is actually to do it as following. So I will send a mail to me and to Alex, and let's put a title which is the demo, and let's even ask Copilot to write something. Write a business offer to this offer, just to make it make sense. And it will create something. Let's just keep it. Um, but here comes the smart thing. Instead of clicking on send, I can click the drop down, and I have schedule send, and now I have start mail merge. Now, if you remember mail merge, it's a very old thing which you could do, or still can do in Word. And actually, you would have on the one side a list of people, on the other side some template with text, and then you would say, um, create a document for each one or send it. Um, this gives the functionality of mirror merge, but it doesn't give the functionality where you can, you know, that it will say dear X or dear Y. So here it takes them. Let's see what it does, and then we can. So I'll choose start mail merge, and now we will get a message that says every recipient will receive their own mail copy of this without other recipients list. Now, there's another possibility. If you remember, you could always put them in BCC. Yeah. But people will notice that sometimes they're on BCC and they're not on in the two. Um, so the first message I see here that it's doing it. Once I decide it's okay, I'll click on. So when I clicked first, it was start mail merge. After that, I have send mail merge. And now it's warning me that do you want to send two emails? Okay, so I'm actually sending one, but in the background, it's creating two mail merge, and each one will get only their own two. And if I click send, because I sent to myself, I should receive also a mail. And now I should any minute receive a mail, as you can see here. And it says to Ami, and this is the text. And yeah, if we look what happened, what was sent, actually, it sent only, yeah, this is the mail it sent. Um, so this is cool. Now, what I wanted to say, the classical, original mail merge that we know from Word provides you to insert like columns let's say, so I could in the text say, it would say dear Ami or dear Max or dear Alex, and put it, so multiple columns that I had, let's say in Excel, could be inserted. Here it doesn't do the full merge that we know. It's only the merge that means that it doesn't send. It's only separates a separate mail to each person. But it's interesting, and so this is what I wanted to show you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer, and if not, we can
move on. I think Dan is trying to join us, and it looks
Okay.
like his internet is not strong enough. Sometimes with StreamYard, there it's kind of if you don't have a good enough internet, it seems to drop out. People's voices kind of drop out in that. But yeah, mail merge, like it's like they're resurrecting old stuff and dragging them into the new stuff, isn't it? Strange. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm going to do some stuff there on the. I might just have to drop my screen down every now and again when I hear somebody trying to join.
I'll let you know.
Okay. I'll hear it anyway, so I might just shrink the screen. So I'm going to be sharing about this new website that Microsoft is after putting up there, which is, you can see it on my screen there, the Microsoft Copilot Studio.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm just going to copy the address there and I'm going to put it in the chat, so if people want to go and see it for themselves. Just a second now. Post it in here. And I'll go back here, right? So that's actually in on the chat there. And if anybody has any questions along the way, give us a shout. So Microsoft Copilot Studio, right? So I'm not going to be reading the whole website now because we could probably read. There's so much stuff in here, it would take us a few weeks to get through it. So I'm just going to target a few things, right? You can click on this one, view the full AI Agent Hub, and then it brings you across to this page where you've got governance and security ebook, lots of stuff that you can actually download. Copilot Studio Scenario, but I'm just going to come back here first. It's got the same stuff there, right? So if you're, depending on what role you have, you can click on each individual one here, and you can see there, look, it's get started with quick and starter prompts. All these can be downloaded step by step to build agents in Copilot Chat. You can just download that and it'll give you all the steps you need to build an agent. How to use agents. Okay, so they're giving you all different, like we got researcher, analyst. These are pre-built ones that Microsoft has already, and it'll show you how to use them. The other one then over here, explore the agent store, right? You can access agents in the new agent store, which this is the new one. I haven't seen it before. I might just take a look at that. It's opening up in a new page, and we'll go back again. Okay, so it's showing you the agent store where you can get a load of pre-built ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually the only way to get to the agents from the Copilot chat, I think.
Okay, yeah, this is the Copilot
there's
chat.
no other way. Yeah, it's through the agent store is through the ad agent, and if you want templates from the Copilot Studio, then before you create it gives some examples as well.
Yeah.
You know,
So
there's
there,
templates for Copilot Studio and templates that are for Copilot Builder.
yeah, how you doing, Dan? Can you hear us there? Okay.
I can hear you fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, how are you?
So yeah, this is the agent
doing?
store anyway, and all this is on that website that I'm talking about. This new website that Dan we're talking about that Microsoft has up there. I shared it in the chat. It's the Microsoft Copilot Studio. All the stuff about it, all the free stuff you can download. And I was just here looking at this agent store, which is new. Well, which has been around for a while, but they've just added it to the website. It wasn't here when I looked last time. So you can choose your role here. If you're a creator, when you click on that, it brings you in here and it gives you a lot more stuff here for the creator. You can download any of these things. Not going to read them all now, but I'm just going to give you an example. So IT and leadership, you can go in here and plan for agent adoption, train users and makers, deliver impact. So just on this one here, I was looking at previously, Copilot Chat Success Kit. If you click on that one, it brings you over here, and you can download loads of stuff here: IT control guides, implementation summary guide, Copilot Chat trainer kit. So
Frank, can I comment?
sure.
Can I give a comment?
Yeah.
I think we're now in the Copilot Studio, but yet it's presenting here different things: Copilot Chat and Copilot Builder, and maybe it can be confused. Oh, people can get confused if you put in one place all of the things. So that way, I would personally, if I didn't know the difference, I would think what's in Copilot Studio would be only Copilot Studio, but yet we see here Copilot Chat, and we see also the builder, and we see general stuff here. So do you agree with me that it might be a bit confusing if they put everything?
Yeah, but this one
Okay.
I'm in here is the headline on this one is Copilot Chat Success Kit.
But you were referenced from the Copilot Studio side, right?
Yeah, they brought me from that to this one. Yeah. So if I go back here, it brings me to this one.
So this is the Copilot Studio, and they're referencing to the Copilot Chat. So maybe it's okay, but maybe it's talking about showing too many things together, and it could be a bit confusing. But and just giving my point of view.
Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of overlap in there. All right. There is this anyway. I just to kind of get away from the comparisons of them. I just see this thing earlier that I was going through the scenario libraries. Okay, and I just opened
that's
one.
general. Yeah, it's the general one that says what, and in some cases they say you should use the builder. Sometimes the Copilot, Studio, and sometimes even something more advanced.
Yeah. So when you go into this part anyway, the scenario section, right? And you want to find kind of one. Look, they've got a good couple of samples, but one that I think me and you've been doing over the weeks there was the kind of HR one, the scenario. So when you go into this one, they've got a video here where I'm just going to download the whole kit. They've got a scenario kit here. I'm just going to download that. And as you can see, it's given us a PowerPoint presentation with 34 slides in it. So I'm just going to just download that, and we'll open that file. So as you can see, this is just one scenario, and it's got 34 pages. And I'm just going to kind of just go down through, like, this is all free, the whole package. So just giving you these full PowerPoint presentations if you want to get your team up to speed, how to build any of these agents. As you can see, top 10 things to try out first: recap meetings, summarize email threads, summarize documents. So these are kind of top 10 that they're giving you an example. They're giving you websites where to go to, aka.ms/prompts, AI value journey. So this is kind of an example of all the stuff that Microsoft are giving on this free website. And I'm just going down through the HR one there, where they can use, different things they do in the day of the life, like overview and KPIs, use case by roles, day in the life, and it just breaks it down into all different sections, like employee development, HR, compliance, and as you can see there, kind of talent acquisitions. These are all different departments within the HR. So if you're going building out an agent, HR agent, you could have a couple of agents that will be doing different roles. So they're giving the kind of solutions there where you can make the AI. They're giving Copilot 365 and then the Copilot chat. So
wait a second. Wait, can you go back a second?
Go back. Yeah.
Last slide. The slide, the first slide. Yeah.
1 second. I'll just back.
No, one slide back.
This one.
Yeah. So when they mean M365 Copilot, I guess that's the paid M365 compared to the Copilot chat, or one of them is the free one and the other one would be the paid one.
The paid version, I'd say. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, one.
Yeah.
Because I think the free Copilot that comes with the 365, you cannot connect to. You can only connect to external resources, not internally. I'm thinking, how much is that really correct to use the free licensing for doing a agent? But okay.
Yeah, I would say maybe not for a HR one anyway. It would be too light, wouldn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just flying through the slides anyway. It's only just to see the kind of stuff that they put together to give people free to use on that particular website. Like they're looking at KPIs. Like this is all kind of great stuff, like for building up a HR agent. You could either you could make it autonomous if you wanted to, and upload all your company stuff on that to it. call, like you can see there, they have a section there, calls answered by AI agents. This is kind of what agents actually do. They're going to any repetitive stuff like people asking questions about the code of conduct, and they put that in. The agent will give them out the company stuff about code of conduct, and that's it. So you can see down the end there, they have programmed chatbots to answer frequently asked questions. So yeah, it's kind of issue for resolution times. So you can see it's really breaking it down. Cost per hire, they're showing there like improved quality of recruitment experience and material, improved job description. So they're getting the agents to do all the kind of stuff like preparing, interviews, giving quality of emails and chat with candidates. It's kind of, you can see these agents can actually go onto LinkedIn, find candidates, send them emails to, do they want to interview for this particular job, and the agent can actually set up the appointment, and it's good stuff. So benefits and usage, how AI can help increase benefit of usage. It's definitely going to free up HR people to do other stuff. Employee net promoter score, how it can help improve employee net promoter score, create internal feedback loops, automate repetitive tasks. It's kind of great stuff. So this is only kind of just one slide, PowerPoint that I'm just flying through here. To probably take an hour just to go through the whole thing. Improve organization help matrix, improve onboarding and development processes, improve onboarding development with Microsoft 365 Copilot. Okay, so look, this is how they actually can set up and conduct a kind of market research, create a job description, identify potential candidates, use Copilot chat to generate a table of key skills for a particular job, generate a software, we say description for software engineer job. And so you can see it goes around the loop until it finds a potential candidate and finalizes the whole thing. And they can use Word, Outlook, and Teams to do all this stuff. Deliver insights to managers. It's great stuff. So you can see there is 34 slides on that one.
Just Frank, to set expectations, there's first of all the basic agents of the builder and maybe even the studio potentially can do it, but you need people to know what they're doing. So don't expect that with a wizard it will create it, because sometimes you need also to connect to external or like CRMs or HR systems, because you're not working. HR doesn't work just with Excel and Word. They do, but they have systems that they need to connect to, and that makes it more complex. It's possible, but and the second aspect I would say, from my experience, you need to take when you offer a bot or an agent the cost element, because if you have a big organization, you probably will not buy a license to all people. And if you want the agent to be for many people, then you need to consider maybe pay as you go, or even some bank uh, of consumption or for use. So there's an aspect of you created it and it's working perfectly, but if everyone has a license, then it's not a problem. But if you need to also think of people that don't have a license, then you need to think of the model of either consumption or pay as you go. Because if not, then it can be costly. Yeah. So you need to consider all things like that.
Yeah, oh, definitely. It's like I'm just seeing, is there anything about costs inside in this section? Not sure there's anything. Dan, have you anything for us on this, or any?
Not necessarily on that, but I was happy to see Malik joined, and would love to chat with him if he's available.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Great. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to look into the Microsoft Student Ambassador program anymore, Malik?
Yes.
Or? Cool.
Yes, and I got on their Discord.
Awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so I'm getting started. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and did you sign up, or did you end up having somebody nominate you?
I'm still in the process. I'm a little bit busy, but I'm trying
Okay.
to finish it up soon.
Yeah, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that I have gotten a lot of questions about from people that are interested in the Student Ambassador program or that are in the Student Ambassador program is questions about it. And like you, I'm busy with, a day job and other things. So I don't necessarily, and I'm not a student ambassador, right? I'm an MVP, a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional, similar to Ami and Frank, who are on here. But I don't believe any of us have ever been a student ambassador. So when we get some questions, sometimes the best thing for us to do is find a student ambassador that might have the answers, like Angel from Chicago, or some of the other ambassadors that we've met. Frank, we met two? Was it two or it was three in Ireland, right?
Three.
Yeah.
We met them in the LinkedIn office in Dublin. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we had the fortune to be in Ireland in January before many of these student ambassadors went back to their studies. And so we put together a LinkedIn office tour in Dublin, Ireland. And we invited all of the student ambassadors from Ireland to attend. And at the time, I think there were about 8 total. And as we got closer, we got the date and the time and the location. And 3 of those 8 were able to join us in person. So Frank and I both got to meet 3 other student ambassadors in Dublin. And then we had a local host at the LinkedIn office to give us a tour. And unfortunately, I don't believe there is a LinkedIn office in North Carolina. Remind me where you're going to school. Is it in?
Yeah, it's the North Carolina State University in Raleigh.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't think there is a LinkedIn office there. I'm not sure where the closest one is to you. I know there's one in New York City. They're in some of the locations Microsoft has offices, but they're typically separate from the Microsoft offices. And one of the tricks is you have to find a LinkedIn employee, not just a Microsoft employee, to help you schedule and tour the LinkedIn offices, which are a little different than the Microsoft offices. In some cases, really different. Frank, I don't know if you want to share anything about what we saw at the Dublin office versus what you've seen at the Microsoft offices in the garage in Ireland.
Yeah. The LinkedIn office was actually interesting, all right. And all the perks that they give their employees, free lunch, and they even had a barber coming on site, and hairdressers, and they had masseuses, and some great perks. I didn't see any like that in the garage.
I did learn in, I think it was the Bellevue, Seattle, Washington area office, why that is. As part of the merger or the acquisition agreement with Microsoft, LinkedIn put in a clause that as long as they were profitable, they had the opportunity or the option to continue the types of perks they had for employees before the merger and acquisition. So as opposed to just assimilating into what Microsoft provides any employee, LinkedIn as a subsidiary had a clause that as long as they're profitable, that they can continue with these unique benefits that are a little different than working for Microsoft as a whole. And some of them were very, very eye-opening from a standpoint of what I recall seeing as a Microsoft employee. But just the scale of their operations, I think, is very different from Microsoft, because their engineering disciplines for a lot of different services that LinkedIn provides. And then, different kinds of jobs, because they're doing recruiting. They're doing, what were the 3 pillars? I think those were shared in Dublin. There's like the focus on recruiting. There's the focus on sales navigator, or, the selling process. And then there was a 3rd pillar that I think was LinkedIn Learning, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you're correct there. And the office in Dublin is their EMEA office.
Yes. Yeah. They're what do you call it? Like regional office for all of EMEA.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons that's the largest office that I think I've ever toured. I haven't been out to their headquarters. Bill Coulterman, Frank, who you met in Manchester, has been out to Carpinteria and to LinkedIn's headquarters and LinkedIn studios. Malik, thanks for joining. It's fun to have a student ambassador, or I guess student ambassador to be, as you're getting access to the Discord server. The types of things that I know that they've talked about that student ambassadors need to do to move or to progress through are to run events where I believe the minimum is that you speak for 10 minutes. And so one of the challenges that you have is if you don't have like a student group or a computer club at your college, or maybe an opportunity to put together something that, counts for speaking for 10 minutes, how do you do something like that? Do you have like student computer clubs or?
Yes, I'm a part of one at
things?
school.
Cool.
So it'll be really easy to actually do one.
Yeah. That's the challenge, is if you already have that support, and if the computer club is either something that you can present at, or you're involved with the computer club already, it becomes a lot easier. I know one of the other student ambassadors we're talking to, I don't think they've got a computer club at his particular school, and that becomes the challenge, is figuring out, how do you do that 10 minutes or more of a presentation if you don't have something at your school. And this is one of the options that you have at your disposal, because I believe as part of that, you provide where the speech or the discussion was, what you discussed, and then potentially a link to it. So if you find the LinkedIn link to this show, you and I are talking for at least 10 minutes. So if there's other, requirements or things that you have to check off as you're going through that, feel free to reach out to Frank, myself, Ami. We can help you through some of those requisites, or get you, PowerPoint slides, or come and be your guest speaker, those kind of things as you enter the fall here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem. That becomes one of the things that I guess I didn't really learn in school.
Dan, what is the...
Go ahead.
Who can nominate a student ambassador?
Great question. I know that we can nominate student ambassadors, but the student ambassador website is available for student ambassadors to nominate themselves. So similar to when the MVP site used to be that way, I don't know if there's benefits to nominating yourself versus being nominated. I would assume it's the same as, if you or Frank or myself nominate somebody, that might come with a different level of either confidence or review from Microsoft's perspective, because we're saying, hey, I've identified this person as a great candidate as a student ambassador. Where if you sign up, Malik, I believe what happens is you get maybe a generic response and then you get access to a Discord server. Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah, so far.
Okay.
And there's like a registration schedule that they have.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I'm trying to look here. There's like a certain date when like registration starts up again.
And that's the trick with it, is sometimes looking at that Discord server. My understanding in talking to other student ambassadors is some of the things might be very clear, but some of the other things might not be as clear, or, if you don't find that Discord server, just signing yourself up becomes, the first of many steps to move through the different levels. And I believe they had 3 levels. There's a beta and a gold level, and I believe there used to be an alpha level. I don't think I have seen, Frank, any alpha student ambassadors, but I have seen student ambassadors that show up without any level listed. And I think that might be the difference, is that the old alpha is maybe just not listed, or maybe that's before you complete any of the the prerequisites once you sign up, but you haven't completed what you need to do to get to the alpha level. But I don't think I saw any alphas when I was looking around for it recently. There's a bunch of betas.
Not too
a couple
sure.
of golds.
Well, and do you nominate to a category, or is it generally IT? Or do you nominate somebody to
So even with MVP,
technology, or is it,
Yeah, even with MVP, I never nominated anybody to a category. I mentioned how I recognize the person or how I've interacted with the person, like Frank. So when I nominated Frank, nobody asked me, should he be in Azure or Copilot or security or business applications? When you nominate an MVP, and I think this is similar with a student ambassador, it's up to you to put in the things you've done over the 12 months. And then I think when you fill those in is when you put in the categories of what contribution area they're in.
Correct.
Yeah. And I think that process is what gets, the leads from a MVP perspective involved in reviewing. Are these strong enough contributions in Azure or security or Copilot or Teams or Surface, right? I don't think with the student ambassador, there's the same kind of requirement that they be in certain categories. But as a student ambassador, if you were focused on say GitHub and code, or you're focused on business applications and Power Automate, I would assume many of the contributions and the categories that you list would line up to those. But it might be like the regional director program. Regional directors aren't awarded in a particular category. they're awarded just because of the relationship with Microsoft. And I don't know any more about regional director than that. There are, I believe it's about 200 regional directors, unless that number has changed significantly. And the regional directors
in the whole world.
In the whole world. So it's much more exclusive than even MVP. And then student ambassadors, since there's a self-nomination, I'm not sure what the total number of student ambassadors is. But I think it's one of those best kept secrets too, because when I talk to students, I think there might be one or two that were aware of the program, but most, even in computer disciplines, I don't think I've ever come across this free program that Microsoft provides to students. And there's all sorts of benefits of going through it, but it's not well known at this point, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, you can see on the screen there, like the different milestones that they get there: 1 star, 2 star, and then you get the gold one. And I think that then allows them to go on to MVP mentorship, however that will work, and potential to get an MVP nomination. So it's kind of pretty vague, isn't it, as it goes?
It's an interesting, Frank, this is what we had talked about, prior to some of the MVPs that we've had through the speaker hub, was the fact that there isn't necessarily a path to become an MVP, right? But the student ambassador program, clearly there is a 3-step process in how you move up, if you will, from just a student ambassador to beta student ambassador to gold student ambassador. So unlike the MVP program, which is either you are or you aren't, right? It's not like I'm an MVP, nominee. There's that step, but it's typically not, you don't get a badge, right? You don't get you've been nominated. It's up to you whether you even share that. And typically, I'll say typically because it's not a requirement, but typically nominees don't share the fact that they've been nominated. They wait for the award. No. And then that sets maybe the tone or the expectation that MVPs just become magically MVPs. No, there's a nomination process. Many MVPs are not awarded after their first nomination. I had at least 3 nominations, and I haven't necessarily done things differently. I've maybe documented things differently. But I was still doing community work 20 years ago. It's not like I just started community work because of the MVP program. But I think that's the thing, that the student ambassador program looks like a much more maybe methodical approach to, how do you become a student ambassador and move up into the different ranges. And then from the rank of gold, you have the opportunity to be nominated as an MVP.
Dana, I would like to add and say, if some people that ask me to nominate them, then sometimes I want to see what they did, and sometimes there's a process of mentorship. Okay, so let me guide you how to become one before I nominate. Maybe I'll give you some tips, or I'll tell you how to use social media or other things. So each one does it different. If I know the person, I don't need to ask any questions. No, not knowing him face to face, but if I follow him and I know the impact. But if I don't know him, I might tell somebody, show me what you're doing. Maybe let's do a mentorship process, and at the end, maybe I'll consider to nominate you, because that's, I think, the proper way.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing
do you do any mentorship before?
I've done quite a bit. So Malik is probably a good example of somebody that I would consider more of an informal mentorship. This isn't something where we meet weekly or, we're doing anything formal. But I think one, spreading the news is a form of mentorship, making sure people are aware of these opportunities. And then two, providing the opportunity, like, hey, if you'd like to come on a show, or if you'd like to ask questions, or if, there's things that you need.
If you want to present.
Yeah. And I'd say the other person that's a nominee in the MVP category that I'm working with very closely is a woman. So, the other thing that I think is incumbent on us as male MVPs is there's definitely a disparate number of male versus women in the MVP program. So as men, a lot of times, we can identify people that are, like us, maybe younger, maybe the same age, maybe doing the same kind of work. But if you think about it, Malik, you're obviously at a different stage in your career than I am. A student ambassador may be younger, maybe a man or a woman, but finding those people that maybe are in different parts of the world than you, and offering your mentorship regardless of, men and women, I think would be the other thing that I've taken into account. And I know that's something, Frank, we talked about pretty early on with Journey to the Cloud and the Microsoft Speakers Hub, et cetera.
Yeah, it's kind of giving people more opportunities. Rather, some people kind of say, oh, that's the Azure and AI show, but I kind of do stuff in Excel or I do stuff in PowerPoint, whereas they can use Journey to the Cloud for anything really, Yeah.
Well, and we figured when we talked about Azure and AI, we chose pretty wide categories because artificial intelligence as a category doesn't even say Copilot, right? We didn't call it the Power of Copilot Hour like the one that Bill and Ayaka are doing. That's a little more specific than even, this, but those categories encompass a lot of different technologies.
Yeah, like even we'd say last year we kind of had a lot of stuff in Azure going on.
Yeah.
With Prathap, with doing the Azure AI voice thing, he was doing that kind of stuff. Yeah. So guys, we're up on the hour for the live show. So I'm just going to end the live show. Thank you everybody for joining us. And we'll be back here again next week at the same time. Thank you.